How's it going, Fragrance World? How's it going, Fragrance Life? Let me turn on the lights, and hopefully that'll improve our. Ooh, that makes a big difference in this our situation. How we doing today? How's it going? How's the Fragrance World? I'm gonna see if anybody's ready to pop in. I'm actually on time today. Hope that that's all right with you, my friends. So, well, again, we'll talk about the topic. You see the title. We'll get to it eventually. First off, it has nothing to do with Dogman fragrance. I want to be very clear with that. Not trying to do anything. It's not about that. But before we get into the live, everybody's popping in. Happy Saturday. How you doing? How's life treating you? What's good? How you smelling? Any new fragrances? I've been seeing a lot more love for the Bentleys, and I got my hands on that Majestic Cashmere. I'll put that unboxing out on my Instagram, I think tomorrow. So look forward to that. That'll be fun. I have also a couple other new fragrances I just got recently. Prada L'Homme Leo. I know I butchered it. I don't know how to speak fragrant French fragrance right, but then I'm gonna say this one wrong too. Chic El Chouk. From the same people who made I think it's Lattafa. Ragba Lattafa, that really nice one I talked about, similar to Oud Bouquet. Anyways, I see two people are here. Say hello. Don't be a stranger. How you doing tonight? How's life treating you? What's good? What's new? What's popping? So let me pull up Fragrantica here. We will be talking about, of course, the new sorry about that, the new fragrance releases that have come out fairly recently. And see if we have any thoughts about any new fragrances you've bought, anything that sounds fun, sounds interesting. How's the fragrance life been going for you? Let me know. And any, of course, questions, thoughts about my channel, all that good stuff. That's what these are all about. Okay, so let's jump into. Okay, we won't talk about the fragrances yet. Nobody's saying hello. Oh, there's Fragrance Journey. Fragrance Journey, my man. How's life treating you? What's good? What fragrances have you been getting into? I'm always curious. You always got something interesting going on over there. Always something new. I think I saw you got into, is it El Gabor? It's something Gabor. And I think did you get into Leather Forever? You got into one of them. And nice house, nice niche house. Not talked about by everybody, but they have some character, some real characters, and I appreciate that they are their own unique niche fragrance brand and of course style. So I liked Leather Forever. It's kind of like a black leather fragrance. It's sensual and it's go look into the fragrance. It's definitely about kind of dangerous activities, I guess you could say, in the bedroom. But anyways, how's everybody doing? I don't see too many people popping in saying hello, but Fragrance Journey, appreciate you popping in. So let's see here. Fragrantica. I do have something I want to say before we talk about the new fragrances. Okay, the people who are popping in, not saying hello, you're probably wanting to know what it was my title about. We won't get into it too much, and I'm not going to name names, but this is another situation where I am very tempted to name names. Y'all know that I've been doing these lives on Saturdays talking about upcoming fragrance releases and new fragrance releases, and people really didn't make videos or do that. And again, people are free to do whatever they want on their YouTube channel, even take my idea, and that's essentially what's being done. And this guy is one of the biggest fragrance reviewers in the game. And I don't even watch the biggest channels anymore, or the most popular fragrance reviewers, really, for the most part anymore. But for some reason, I had this idea to click on his video. It was another one of those situations where my senses, my third eye, tingling, whatever, I had a sense about it. So I watched a little bit of it, and I actually skipped to a point in the video, and I found exactly what I needed to hear. That they made a video about upcoming new fragrance releases, and essentially what I've been doing. Now, again, people are free to do what they want. But the problem is that people in the Fragrant.com need to give credit where credit's due. If you have an idea or take somebody's idea, you can run with it, but give credit where credit's due. And I am a very creative person. Again, I'm not growing the biggest, and maybe maybe people feel like they can take advantage of that, and I suppose they can. This is nowhere near. This is a very small thing, I suppose. It's nowhere near the fragrance situation between Jeremy Fragrance and the Fragrance Runner. But it is frustrating to see somebody who you kind of used to respect and kind of look up to, and that they took your idea and they ran with it and didn't give you any credit. So, I didn't like with Street Sense. A lot of people took the approach, and well, I won't get into it too much. I won't name the name. Y'all know the name of one guy, but people, not everybody, but there's been a few people almost tried to take credit for the Street Sense approach. I don't know. Maybe Street Sense Al over there wasn't the first guy to do it. Maybe he wasn't. But as far as I know, he was. And I always try to think of the fragrance community as like a legacy, as building. And, somebody has laid the groundwork and done the work before us. But I don't know. I don't know if that's an attitude we have in the fragrance community anymore, because every time I do something creative or a bit different, there's some of the bigger content creators, maybe who are less creative, or some, I don't know, maybe they see that there's an idea that's actually a good idea. They're willing to take my ideas. So I'm not sure what I should do about that. There's really nothing I can do about that. And it doesn't bother me too much, but I was really more or less sad about the situation. I don't know. I don't know what I should think about that. Maybe more content creators are going to start making upcoming new fragrance release videos, new fragrances that are coming out, and talk about them before they actually come out, and their thoughts and their opinions on what they might be. Yeah, y'all know that I was the guy who really kind of pioneered that. Anyways, let's talk about fragrances, though. I don't see people commenting their scent of the day. I don't. I feel like I'm talking to myself, and that's cool, I guess. How's everybody this week doing? Doing though? I do want to invite you to my Instagram, of course. And I had a really nice chat this morning. Really, really great chat. We talked about our summer fragrances with somebody in the fragrance community called Eau Descent. Would invite you there. It's he was a cool guy, and he is a cool guy. There's a bunch of good people on Instagram, and we had a lot of fun today. And I hope that more people will start doing little lives with each other, or little live videos, and interact with each other. I don't know all their names, but there's a lot of ladies who are doing that, and there's some friendship there, and that's a beautiful thing to see in FragCon. But I don't think that's done as often now, when it's so easy to do lives on Instagram. In my opinion, there should be a ton of people doing it. There is StreamYard and some other ways you can do it on through YouTube, have guests, and that might roll out pretty soon. On YouTube, ways to invite guests to a live. But as far as I know, you have to do it through some, out of YouTube software, and it's not as easy as it, will become. It will become much easier to do. So let's talk about those new fragrance releases. Let's talk about them and any other topics we want to talk about. So there's a new one from Lubin called Epidore, or Epidore. Let's see if they give us the notes. If y'all don't know, Lubin is a really good fragrance house. Again, this is a house that they do kind of take older formulations, but I watched an interview, and he was very open and friendly. And I don't think it happens a lot in the industry. He actually kind of like buys and talks to people and gets kind of like really great formulations. Maybe of stuff that was experimental or never made in the past, but a perfumer made it, and he hires another perfumer and puts his own twist and his own spin on it, and perfects it over time. Lubin does not rush releases. They do serious work and seriously good fragrances. So I'm sure this one will be nice. This has Epidore has notes of plum, violet, orange blossom, jasmine, tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood, and cedarwood. So sounds nice, and sounds versatile. Sounds unisex. Sounds likable. So it's supposed to have a little bit of mimosa, some yellow florals to it. Maybe it'll go out acidic. Not really sure, but it's supposed to have a sun vibe. I'm not sure where it's being sold, but it looks like it's intending to be a summer fragrance of sorts. That's interesting. You don't see jasmine too much in a summer fragrance. We'll set probably more of a supporting note, and the plum's probably not uber sweet either. But I would like to see more white plum used in fragrances. That would be fun. Nizia, good to see you pop in. Yo, buddy, good to see you. What's your scent of the day? Evening. Ronald Japinga is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. What's your scent of the day? What's good? What's new? I hope that you're doing all right today. Any new fragrances for any of y'all? Or have you fallen in love with a fragrance that you forgot about in your collection? Some of us have really big collections, and I'm trying to keep it low, but my collection's definitely a good size. Bigger than it should be. At least, I don't know. Maybe than it should be. Ronald says, scent of the night is Acqua di Parma Colonia Essenza. For me, I'm wearing Ferragamo Uomo, the original, not the signature. I prefer the Uomo. I only wore like one or two sprays. I went really easy. It's a little bit cloudy and a little bit rainy today, so it's a bit cooler, but it's not really. I don't know. It's somebody immediately told me that that's not a summer fragrance, Ben. What are you thinking? And he's right. If you it could easily become cloying. But again, if you're careful, even with heavy or sweet or gourmand fragrances, you can get away with what you want. Do whatever the heck you want. So that's what I did today. I wore what I wanted. Ronald says latest purchase. Oh, yes. I'm not sure what that little symbol means. Is that a clue to what you bought? Lacoste Blanche, something the white bottle. They're supposed to, I think there's a new flanker coming out. I mentioned that one a couple weeks ago. Lacoste. There's a flanker coming out. Is it just called, I don't think it's just called the limited edition, is it? Anyways, I think there's a new version possibly coming out. And that one must be selling very, very well, or maybe selling the best out of that line. And I don't know which fragrances sell the best for Lacoste, but they seem to be putting a little bit more effort into that one. So, yeah. Ron Nelson says, I dig Essenza. Armani Acqua di Gio Essenza was a great fragrance. It's sad to see it go. I guess it wasn't dramatically different from the original, and it was a bit out-of-hitic and dense and sour to some. Maybe that made it less mass appealing to some people. I'm not really sure, but it performed much better, and I thought overall that it was a better fragrance than the regular Acqua di Gio. I liked the richness from it and the fullness, but yeah, I guess people didn't want, it had a different name. With some of these fragrances that name themselves parfums or intense or extremes, Essenza essentially could have been Acqua di Gio Extreme, but I guess the market doesn't want that or didn't want that from Acqua di Gio. They wanted a different twist on it. So that is interesting to see, that the Profumo and now the newer Profundo, even the Absolutio and some of those have been doing extremely well for Acqua di Gio, or Armani, I guess I should say. Interesting that Essenza just didn't do it. Ronald says, I've got Lacoste Blanc EDP. It's a great freshie. Yeah, is that the new version? Is it called the EDP? Yeah, it's I need to get my hands on that one. That's for sure. Nezia says, Ronald with a thumbs up. Absolutely, with the thumbs up. Got some good people in here. We're going to jump to more of the new fragrance releases. We already talked about one, but I didn't get any responses about bigger content creators taking ideas from people like me or smaller content creators who are willing to take a risk and do something fun or experimental or create a trend in Fragcom. Do y'all have any thoughts on that bigger content creators kind of taking ideas? That's the funny thing. These bigger content creators, they have all the room in the world to show their personalities and They could even do a blog or a vlog video, and so many people like them, they could almost get away with anything. It's I've seen it in the fragrance community happen more than I think. And maybe it's because they're so, again, compared to other communities, there's so fewer or so many less content creators. That bigger content creators sometimes take ideas if they think it's good enough, they run with it. So interesting situation. So let's talk about fragrance once again. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. I did review recently Creed Viking cologne. Also, again, if you make a good idea, people are going to run with it. Creed Viking versus Viking cologne. Y'all saw that I did my review recently about Viking cologne and compared the two. It wasn't a battle video exactly, but I did do a lot of comparisons, and Fragrantica has jumped on the bandwagon. Anyways, let's see. We got some new perfumes. A brand called Eva Lanina. I've never tried them, but I do know about Papillon of Artisan Parfumé. They have a new fragrance called Spell 125. Not familiar with it. Haven't seen anybody talk about it. It has olibanum, Siberian pine, ylang ylang, sandalwood, ambergris, and hemlock. So it's going to be incensey and, of course, floral, a little bit green, a little bit classic, but in that, I don't know, contemporary style with sandalwood and a bunch of musk. Interesting to see how hemlock's going to be used. Siberian pine does sound fun, but we'd have to see what notes come through with this one. I don't know if it's going to go aldehydic. There's got to the ylang ylang, or maybe it's the hemlock. Something's got to give that fragrance some pop. It's called Spell 125. That one's might be, if you love Vogue or niche, not niche. If you love a classic perfumery, might be something you're interested in. I don't see anything sweet out of that fragrance. Let's pop in here with the comments. Okay, no new comments. Let me go back and we'll look at the new fragrances. There's a new one coming out from Ariana Grande called Thank You Next 2.0. I haven't gotten too much into the celebrity fragrance scene. When I first got into fragrances, I tried a couple here and there. One of the only ones that really I thought was good quality and actually worth trying was Eau de Gaga. And I heard that Jessica Parker's Stash was really worth it. But I haven't seen too many other. I know there's a lot of popularity behind Ariana Grande fragrances, so this one might have some interest in the fragrance community. Again, called Thank You Next 2.0. Very strange name. Thank You Next. They named it like version 2. I won't try to think about that too much. That'll hurt my mind. Anyways, she went back to marshmallow and the base and sandalwood. This one has a bunch of fruity notes, pomegranate, wild strawberry, and apple juice, white orchid, and jasmine. Sounds nice. I don't know if it's going to go transparent or not, but that sounds like a good, if it's pulled off right, that sounds like a good fragrance that just about any young lady would just enjoy. At least I think so. There's a new brand called Coco de Mer Cosmetics. Not familiar with the brand. Again, I've been telling y'all there's so many brands that are popping out. It's crazy. I don't know where they're sold. Pearl Scent Parfums, have no idea. Their caps look very funny. They look like a piece of like nougat or fudge or something on top of the cap. It's funny. This one has been getting some talk because it's another pineapple fragrance, and everybody likes a good pineapple. They like a good something of vintage perhaps. Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. There's a gold edition. People are getting very excited about that, and I know that will be on the talk of the town, because if it's a good pineapple, if it doesn't eventually hit discounters, if it's around $30 people are going to be going bonkers probably for that fragrance. So let's see here. Ronald says, I saw Lionel Richie's fragrance today called Hello. It has some positive reviews, but I think I'll pass. Yeah, I might have to look into that. I'm not usually into celebrity fragrances too much myself. but I'm always keeping an open eye. I'm always willing to try something. And if you're, especially when people get first into fragrances, it's a great way to go. If you can get stuff for a fair price, I don't try to beat up on people, even people who wear body mist. Again, in my opinion, a lot of body mist, even though they're very, um, inexpensive, and I don't love them that much, if they get you into fragrance and you have a good experience. And some people wear body mist and they never even go for a celebrity. For some people, celebrity is luxury. I've seen a lot of ladies or just people in general, and they might just use regular splash on colognes or regular maybe you could say generic type things. And celebrity is a luxury. It's funny. We're all definitely different. It's an interesting world. So anyway, what fragrances have y'all been getting into? There's a bunch of new Louis Vuitton fragrances. They have a new cap that looks like something jumping in the water. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be. Melting ice, uh, melting ice, liquid glass. The caps to me look quite corny. I don't know what to think of them. You could look them up. I've reviewed a few Louis Vuittons, and I think I have a few other reviews I haven't released yet. I think I had gotten my hands on 6 or so of them in total. Uh, Again, there were a few of them that were decent, but for the price, I thought that they were blended well, but they were more synthetic ingredients, and I didn't think that they were a good value. But a lot of people are getting excited about Louis Vuitton, and it looks like they're going to make a new line or take a lot of fragrances away and add a bunch of new fragrances every year. I don't know if they'll continue to do this, but again, a lot of their fragrances aren't that creative, in my opinion. So I guess they can get away with doing this. Again, this one's called Rhapsody. They call it a Chypre floral, rose, patchouli, vetiver, jasmine, mate, oak moss, lily of the valley. It looks like it could be nice, but doesn't really speak to me. Nothing about that sounds special. Do you want me to talk more about these new Louis Vuitton fragrances? Lee J says, I just bought Explore Ultra Blue. How's that fragrance working for you? Are you enjoying it? I'm going to do an unboxing soon and get my review to y'all of Prada L'Homme Leo. Hope that it's good. I hope that it's not hope that it's not boring or anything like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it. So I bet that Explore Ultra Blue is pretty nice. I haven't seen too much hype or too much talk about it, but I haven't heard anything bad about it either. So I don't know if people just haven't been taking the risk of the plunge. I'm not really sure, but I don't see too much talk about it, good or bad. Ronald says Louis Vuitton are overpriced. I absolutely agree. And I hope that came through in the few reviews I put out already. I have some more, but I try to keep things balanced. I don't know. Y'all would have to let me know. Do y'all want a theme? Do y'all want like me to review a bunch of fragrances from the same house constantly? Because I have most of the collection of Jo Malone's. I have most of the collection of Zoologist, and I don't want to bore y'all. I like this to have a balance. I think it's interesting to sprinkle around the love of all kinds of different fragrances, but yeah, I do have a couple more Louis Vuitton fragrances to share with you. See, not here to yet. I've been trying the cheap Cremo colognes, not bad. Yeah, the Cremos aren't bad either, and they're definitely a good way to play around and figure out what you like. And with affordable and cheapy stuff, that's what I did when I first got into fragrances. I did buy a few fragrances from the mall that I really, really enjoyed, but then I started getting things that were affordable and kind of testing the waters, figuring out all kinds of different styles and perfumers and notes, and learning more about fragrance. And that's one way to do it. Yes, it still costs money, but it's cheaper than just blind buying, fragrances at the mall for full price or niche fragrances or anything else. So Ronald says, if you talk about one fragrance house too much, people will say you're getting paid for it. Yeah. Peep, I'm sure that they would. I'm sure that that's how it would. I guess that's how people think these days, but I would like to share a bunch of zoologists, and trust me, Louis Vuitton doesn't pay me. They probably, I don't know, they probably don't want me to even talk about their fragrances. I had again. This is a little bit of a drama topic. Y'all. I don't know if I should say it's a good thing or a bad thing. Whenever I bring up drama or anything that controversial, y'all don't even want to touch it. I guess that's a good thing. But recently, somebody really came out of the woodworks and criticized me in a comment, a scathing comment, one of those, criticized me, maybe a troll comment, I don't know. But they said that I looked greasy and essentially dirty because in my review, my sweat was coming through. I was doing a review out in the summer heat, reviewing a fragrance y'all saw recently, and I was sweating through the shirt. So he thought I was a dirty shirt. He thought it was a ruined shirt or something. I don't know. If you, I like reviewing outside. I like the nature, and some of y'all seem to really do enjoy that as well. And if I'm going to review fragrances outside in the summer heat, in the South, deep in the South, when it's like 90 degrees and to 95% humidity or more, I'm going to be sweating. It might only take me a minute or two. Anybody sweats out there. So what can I say? I don't have a really special setup, and I don't even want to, where it's really fancy and formal. And I don't dress up in a fancy suit. So sweat it up. Who cares? Yeah. If you want real authentic fragrance reviews, again, I'm not saying that people need to who review fragrances have to put themselves in danger or do strange things or be outside in the Russian winter or something. But if you do want to see this type of content, there's going to be some elements that might not be perfect. If somebody reviews fragrances in a Russian winter and it's cold outside and people like to see the nature, they're probably going to be wearing a lot of clothes to keep them warm, and their hands are probably going to be shaking cold. For me in the South in the summer, you're going to see me sweat. There's no doubt about that. So, yep. Sweaty fragrance reviews. But I do try to take care of myself. I'm not a slob, but some people get that impression because I'm sweaty in some of my fragrance reviews. I can't control that. I wish I could. So let's look at one other Louis Vuitton fragrance. Again, they're coming out with 6 or 7 new ones. There's another one called Cosmic Cloud. This is one I like, futuristic sounding things. It has black currant musk, patchouli, and bergamot. This might be one of the ones I'm more interested in. Again, the nose behind the fragrance is master perfumer Jacques Cavier. Again, that's my best attempt. I'm sorry, that's the best I can do, guys. If anybody knows French, and if anybody's willing to send me some sound clips or some advice on how to speak French, let me know. Mugler has a new alien coming out, Mugler Alien Goddess. I'm sure that this will be a hit. There's a lot of flankers of Alien for the ladies, but a lot of them do very well. This one, I don't know if it sounds terribly different. Says bergamot, jasmine, bourbon, vanilla, cashmere. They claim that it has real Madagascar bourbon vanilla. I'm not sure if it does or how much of it is in a designer fragrance. Supposedly it has jasmine grandiflorum. It says super infusion regarding some of these things, so it must be some kind of accord that they've maybe put a lot of specialty in. Yeah, it's got to be mostly synthetic. Created, they even tell you straight up created with the Firmenich perfumers Natalie Lorson and Mary Salamane. So I'm sure it's going to be good. Yellow floral fragrances have been seeming to making a little bit of a comeback. Modern Chypre-esque fragrances, and I know that there's demand for that and interest in that. And I don't think I'm that influential. I don't have that much of an ego, but I have been talking more about Chypres and kind of encouraging people to try them. And the industry, I think, knows that people like Chypres. But for a while, for some reason, the industry kind of let Chypres kind of die away. They kind of forgot about Chypres or didn't seem to care about them. But maybe they see that there is a way to make Chypres more in that Italian or modern more playful, type of way with citruses, and people do tend to like that. There's a lot of good ones, and y'all know that I've spoken really highly of a few of them, like Saphiro by Xerjoff. Wonderful fragrance. So let's see here. By the way, Gucci Guilty on a hottie sweaty day is great. I'll have to try that. I honestly haven't been bold enough to try Gucci. Are you talking about the regular Gucci Guilty? My mind went immediately to Gucci Guilty Absolute, and I don't know. That'd be a really risky wear in the summer heat. But I'll try it. Yeah, Gucci Guilty does need a little bit of lift. It doesn't have the strongest performance, and it would do good on a hot day. The original. Margaya Sora, great to see you. Oh yes, good to see you too. How's life treating you? What's good? Aroma from Heaven, great to see you. Yes, welcome to my fragrance channel. Yes, no, not the Absolute. Yeah, the Absolute would be quite a risky proposition. Are Chypres always classy fragrances? Generally, see, that's the thing, Ronald. A lot of people have that interpretation, and a lot of them used to be that way. A lot of Chypres used to be either very classy or very sensual, like very provocative, like with leathers and animalics and honey, and sometimes even skanky, but in an attractive way. Lots of like deep natural musk. Modern Chypres, there's a new style that's coming out that's becoming pretty popular that's more focused on citrus and florals, and still retains a little bit of that character. Maybe there's a little bit of fresh leather mixed in, but they still have some modern musk in their citrus, and it's just a whole lot lighter and fresher and versatile. Very unisex as well. Anybody can wear them. So I do think that we're having an interesting renaissance, or I don't know what the right word would be, a reinvention and a new interest in this modern Chypre style. And as y'all know, Fougères are still alive and well, but they've taken quite a revival. Yes, the Fougères have taken quite a reinvention of. Then again, you'll see a little bit of that DNA in the background of some fragrances snuck in there. And I think that the same is going to happen with Chypres, but that's happened with Fougères. So that's definitely a big topic to talk about, and something to look forward to seeing in the fragrance world. So there's some new fragrances coming out from Kilian. Apple Brandy on the Rocks. So let's look at the notes. It's got pineapple. They threw pineapple. They know what people like. Pineapple, bergamot, cardamom, rum, vanilla, moss, and ambroxan and cedar. I do want to try it. I don't know if it's worth the money to have that as a casual wear fragrance. To me, pineapple is something I'd want to wear more casually. But if that ends up being a nice casual fragrance, and if I had the money, I'd love to have it. So it's got rum and pineapple. I don't remember seeing a fragrance recently that's like that. So that looks really nice to me. There's also another one coming out from Kilian, and it seems that they're switching to, those new bottles, those new shapes. I don't know what word I should use for that either. But absinthe, it has notes of absinthe, licorice, violet, vetiver, patchouli, and sandalwood. So I'm not sure if this is attempting to be a modern Chypre. I'm not really sure. They describe it as a woody aromatic, but the violet and the licorice and absinthe are very nice notes. And I think a lot of us tend to really enjoy those if they're used correctly. Absinthe by Nasomatto. It's not for everybody, but that one is loved by quite a few. There's some new fragrances from Oriflame. I'm not really familiar too much with the house myself. Aroma from Heaven says that's why I think when a Chypre name was given to something, it was not. It's not what called Chypre today. Yeah, the styles can change. I don't know what new word we should use for Chypre. I think we'll keep the name probably, but the style's definitely changed. Aroma from Heaven says, I was going to touch on the subject when reviewing Chypre Extraordinaire. Yeah, definitely do that. I would love to see you talk about that. Sheepras are starting to make quite the comeback. There's quite a few of them that are quite popular, and I think a lot of people are looking for them. And I've made a few videos talking about some of the better, more modern ones that I've found. And I'd love to see people, kind of rediscover that. A lot of people in the fragrance world in general, especially if you're not so much deep into the world of niche, you might not have experienced, or you might not have gotten your nose on even a vintage or a modern cheaper. So I think a lot of people are missing out on that style of fragrance. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying everybody will like it, but it certainly is a quintessential, fragrance style or genre of fragrance for sure. So I don't see too many. Let's see if we can find any other fragrances that look interesting. And there's some other new brands that have popped up that don't look very interesting to me, or none of us know too much about them. There's a new Paco Rabanne with a very tacky bottle that looks like a little robot, like a toy. I think it looks extremely tacky. I don't want a fragrance that looks like a toy, but it's called Phantom. I don't know why it'd be named Phantom when it's a robot. So it says artificial intelligence plus human emotion, augmented creativity. Let's look at the notes. This might be another one like Toy Boy that I almost like avoid it. So let's see if we can't find the notes. I don't see the notes anywhere so far. So they do give us a little bit of information on how they tested the fragrance, which is interesting. They said the fragrance was tested on young men, so this is their market demographic, the people they're trying to sell the fragrance to, 18 to 35, to find out which emotions were aroused in the brain. We took 45 million measures on their brains. So, is this how people do their research regarding fragrances? Did they take a test group of, I don't know how many people would be in this test group. And see, I like learning about the in and outs and the details as much as I can with the fragrance community. Some perfumers will give you details and things that maybe they shouldn't tell you, or little secrets. And sometimes articles and things you find on the internet will give you big insights into the fragrance world. So instead of asking people their actual opinions, some of these companies, again, I don't know what the number is. Maybe it's 10, 20, 30, 50, 40, I don't know, people, but they actually put them into a machine and see which parts of their brain are stimulated by fragrance. Maybe they've gone full scientific and technical instead of just asking people what they think and how they feel. And again, there's going to be benefits and there's going to be negatives to doing something like this. So let's see. I totally agree. Have you put your nose on the new Arige L'Adores? No, I have not. I need to get my nose on some of the new ones. I've dabbled here and there with them, but I need to try more. Aroma from Heaven says they're on a completely different level. Do you think that they're better? Do you think that they've improved and become even better? I know that there's a lot of love for Arige from a lot of people. A lot of people are scared of them and don't seem to bother with them too much. I'm not saying that I'm that way, but they are very bold and sometimes animalic, sometimes Oudi type fragrances. But some people really seem to love them. Ronald says Toy Boy is odd indeed, but I kind of like designers taking a risk. Yeah, I don't mind people taking a risk with the formulations, but for me, if it's a risk with the bottle design, if it's that risky, I don't know. To me, I'd rather have a bottle design that's a little bit more classic inspired, like Rifle So by Trussardi. I was really happy that a designer house did something like that. But so Toy Boy is the complete opposite. Every once in a while, I can take something that's a bit tacky, like Paco Rabanne's 1 million. Looks like a gold bar, but Invictus looking like a trophy, or Toy Boy looking like a teddy bear. I don't know. I don't know about that. Kenny says, "Do you like cheapies?" Absolutely. I'm gonna try to highlight a few more affordable fragrances for you. I try to keep a balance of that. Still on my channel, I do again find niche more interesting and fun to review. Uh, but I'm going to try to get my hands on more. And if we can grow this channel, I'll try to do review more cheapies and also give them away to y'all as well. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the future. But cheapies are great. And even if you have a big collection, even if you've been around for a while, some $20-$30 fragrances, they're absolutely worth the money. And honestly, sometimes they can beat out niche, a lot of niche. La Ligue pour Homme, you get that. I mean, that and Moschino Uomo, again, I've mentioned them before. For the money, for what you're getting for the price, I don't know if they can be beat. When I found those, I was blown away. And I'm sure that, again, if you find a cheapie that works for you, there's some of them that are, I mean, the value is there. There's no doubt about it. Aroma from Heaven says, yeah, I respect Russian Adam for always becoming better. Well, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that he's improved, made his fragrances even better, even better. So even though the first ones were super great too, oh yeah, but perfumers do change and they do improve. One of the houses that was similar that you just reminded me of this, and I mentioned it a little bit before, but Gallagher is one of them. Gallagher, when they started, some people were excited about them, and I tried a few of them. I'd like Fine Apple, but I got a new sample of it recently, and I feel like all of his formulations were much better, and he's improved his game. So yeah, perfumers change and they can improve over time. That's for sure. So, anyways, if you have a little bit of free time, Google Paco Rabanne Phantom. Looks like something that you would use to sweep your floor these days. It's like a little robot. I think it looks really tacky. Um, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but I don't know. Do y'all want to see fragrances that look like toys or feel like toys? I'm not really sure. Um, I don't know if they're talking about this fragrance. Let me see here. I think they're talking about vintage fragrances, but there's one that looks like a Bushido mask. It's called an Enime by Pierre Cardin or Cardon. Um, I don't know if this fragrance is new or if it's old. I'm trying to figure out. It looks like it's really retro. If it's a new fragrance, it looks really retro. It looks like a fighting mask for Bushido. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. I'd mentioned that there's an article about that on Fragrantica, that fragrance. So there's Milano Fragrance, a new fragrance house coming out. I don't know. I need to learn more about the international world. Let me read these comments. I have a comment to say. So Leah J says, just a sampler pack from Habibi, New York. Not bad. Niche has always been too strong. Yes, especially if it's a Rouge L'Adore. Those are very, very strong, very potent fragrances. So yeah, there's niche that's very wearable and modern and contemporary. Like I think there's Los Angeles and Brooklyn from the House of Gallivant, and those are very wearable and a good price. I was just talking about that today on my Instagram. If you're looking for niche fragrances that are bite sized, I think they're 30 mil for $80. You can get into them, and they're very easy to wear and like. And I often recommend Cedrat Boisé by Mansara. But yeah. Anyways, I hope that they were fun though, Lee J. Kenny says Lalique is a great house. They absolutely are, and so some of them when they've got discounted, crazy values for money, for sure. This one here, I wanted to mention this idea. I hope that I can go to expos. I've never been to like a big show like in Las Vegas regarding fragrance or really anything. And supposedly there's Beauty World in the Middle East, and that's happening in Dubai, which, if y'all don't know, is one of the big centers of fashion and even perfume. And I don't know if any fragrance reviewers or people in the world are able to go there or do some blogs or some vlogs, but I would like to see some recordings about that. and I'd love to see people share the new perfumes and some of the maybe the fashion and the perfume world coming together. I know that beauty world and that show or expo, whatever you want to call it, is not 100% focused on fragrance, but there's no doubt that there's fragrance involved. So that's awesome. See if there's any comments about that. I emailed Leak 2 months ago. Ronald says for a sample, for a sample, and last week they emailed me back apologizing because they thought I lived in the USA and forwarded the email to a French team 2 months later. Oh, oh goodness, that's you know you never know what's going to happen. Are you in the USA though? So they assumed that you were in France. Did they help you out? Are they willing to give free samples out? I'm not sure. Sorry that happened though. That's a long wait. Um, it can get frustrating. Some of the communications with these companies are, I don't know who's managing their social media. I had a problem one time. I won't get into it. We talked about before with a certain company. See, there's a new fragrance from the House of Sillage called Whispers of Truth Noir. I don't know if it's a flanker, but House of Sillage has some nice ones. I don't know if I connected to them, especially for the price, but Aqua de Goya Terra looks like it's going to be good. It looks to me, it looks like they're doing a clone, or they've taken the DNA of Terracotta. If y'all are familiar with Terracotta, that was a great fragrance. I believe it was by Chanel, if I remember. Let's see here. Terracotta. Oh, it was by Guerlain or Guerlain. Yeah, I don't know if they took the rights to the DNA or maybe put their own spin on it. If they're able to bring it at a little bit more wearable or a little bit more affordable to these people, it was a great DNA. A lot of the people who like Guerlain like things that are more creative, and that fragrance, from Guerlain, the Terracotta, I guess they didn't feel like it was original or special enough, and it did use a little bit more modern fragrance ingredients, maybe more aroma chemicals. It wasn't well received or didn't get enough attention, but it was a great release, I thought, for modern perfumery and more in the designer world of things. So it'll be interesting to see how good Terra de Goya is by Armani. I have no doubt that Armani is going to make it more mass appealing, and they're probably going to have success with it. But things like that happen. It's a funny world. So let's see if there's any other fragrances that catch our eye. They still have a link up here from Uomo. I do like their bottles. I'd like to try it. Let's see here. Supposedly the Red Door fragrances. I wanted to mention this. They have an article about this. The Red Door fragrance by Elizabeth Arden. It seems to be really popular. I'm curious on if is it really that popular, or does it just have a legacy and lots of people continue to talk about it? I don't personally know any ladies, my mom or nobody, my grandma or nobody that I knew really had a bottle of Red Door. But supposedly it's one of the most prolific fragrances that's ever been, and I think it still might be produced to today. So Ronald says, I'm in the UK. Yes, they're sending out samples of the new white and black. Oh, really? I might have to try to get myself a sample. So I'll try. I would love to email their customer service. I would like to review it and get myself a sample so I can bring that to y'all. I'll try that out, see how that works. So what do y'all think about Elizabeth Arden Red Door? Or do you have any thoughts? So I already mentioned Luby World, Louboutin, Christian Louboutin. They have these really funny bottles that have the really ornate caps on them. I don't know how I feel about those. They're like all really red bottles with these silver caps. To me, it's very distracting. It's and provocative almost at the same time. So, have y'all seen those bottles? If anybody has any experience with the Luby World fragrances, let me know. There's a whole collection. I think that there's 7 of them, but I'd like to smell them. They're kind of, they're trying to put themselves out there, make a big fuss. That's for sure. And they put a lot of money probably into those bottles. There's a new Avon that has come out called Black Suede Hot. That might be decent, but again, I don't really I've never messed too much with Avon, honestly. Do y'all think that they're fun? There's a new fragrance from Kenneth Cole called Copper Black. Let's look at the notes of this. This might be a good cheapie. We got notes of apple, ginger, mandarin, cardamom, leather, bourbon, whiskey, vanilla, guaiac wood, and tonka bean. Copper Black. You can find it for a good price. Not exactly. It was launched in 2020, so I am excited to hear more about this one. That's a good note combination, and I'm sure that it'll hit discounters eventually for a fair price. Kenneth Cole's always come down in price a good bit, so Copper. Keep an eye out on that Copper Black. That might be a good cheapie in the future. Maybe a good Ross or a TJ Maxx find. Let's see here. There's a new brand coming out called Mullium, Mullium, and they have like 10 fragrances or more. I don't know. I do want to try them, but I don't know where they're sold. Another one of those houses. So, any other fragrances that have caught your eye? Anything else that looks fun or particularly interesting, my friends? I really love Black Suede, but the only problem is it didn't last more for 40 minutes. But I might look into the new Black Suede. Yeah, that's longevity issues. That can kind of ruin a fragrance for you for sure. I hear you. So Avon, yeah, I've heard good things about Avon. Maybe it's just the longevity with them isn't terribly good. So, are there any other fragrances that have been catching your eye? There's a new house that's come out called Salvezza. It's spelled Salvezza. It's a new Dubai launch, and again, there's so many fragrances that come out. I wonder. I don't know where they're found, but again, this one's coming out of Dubai, and a lot of them might be coming out of Dubai. So there's one called White Bloom, lemon, saffron, raspberry, rose, vanilla, cedar, caramel, musk, ambergris, patchouli, and oud. Sounds wonderful. Got good notes. The Amma doesn't look too interesting to me. It has pineapple and bergamot, vetiver, patchouli, ambergris, iris. So maybe pineapple and iris. If that sounds good to you, let's see if any of the other ones look particularly good. I don't know. There's one called Luxury Oud. It might be good. Let's see. And there's another one that has really strange names. There's 3 of them that from their collection that are different, and they're light fresh. Maybe it's their cologne style fragrances. There's one called AU79 that's dedicated to gold. That's its name on the periodic table, or maybe that's what they're going for. Not really sure, but they say it has a fluffy saffron, and then it goes to a leather. So I like saffron and leather, so I might have to keep an eye out on that, especially if it's really mass appealing and really wearable. So are there any other fragrances that have caught your eye, everybody? Again, I look forward to seeing if Terra de Goya by Giorgio Armani sells really well. Again, that's one that's marketed more towards women. I think they're all plastic caps, but I do like the resin, the swirling little copper and shiny dust material that they're using for that. That's always fun. Any other fragrance topics or things that y'all found interesting? And let me know, do y'all like that Paco Rabanne was willing to take a risk and making a robot bottle? A robot toy bottle? Was that something that was fun? Or no? You already have Copper Black, Kenny says. I wish it had a little bit more projection, but it's a good fragrance. Avon fragrances are good. I might have to check out that copper black. When it, thank you for letting us know, Kenny. I do appreciate that. If any of us were to try any Avon fragrances, which ones would you recommend we try? Please let us know, because there's a lot of them that have come and gone. Sometimes it's difficult to know which ones are still in production. So I would like to try them, or some of them, just to experience them. I doubt that I'll go crazy for Avon fragrances, but I'm sure that they have a few that are good. Let's see here. And the Mugler Alien Goddess, I'm interested to see what the ladies are going to think about that. And the Jimmy Choo Urban Hero, I'm interested to see how many people love Jimmy Choo in the world in general, or the fragrance community. Maybe they'll redeem themselves, but again, it doesn't look like a terribly original fragrance, but maybe it'll be good enough with the power of the pineapple to bring them back. Just like Mont Blanc Explorer really brought Mont Blanc and made them a lot more successful and a lot more well-known. Maybe the power of the pineapple will do that for Jimmy Choo. The power of the pineapple is real, my friends. The power of the pineapple is real. So I feel like everybody's laid back this evening. I feel like our energy is laid back. I feel like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Is it me? Or what's going on? Let me know. I do appreciate everybody who's here and being a friend, though. But yeah, let's see what else do we got going on. If there's anything else we can talk about. Are you excited for those Killians? I didn't see too many comments about the Killians. The apple brandy on the rocks does look good. I do like the notes of that. And it is funny to see that we're seeing pineapple. Pineapple is still a big deal. I don't think pineapple is going to go away anytime soon. So, let's see. Maison de l'Asie is a new brand that came out. I don't know much about the brand, but they have one called Lost Lovers. Let me see if we can't find the notes of these. Look at the notes, see if they're interesting. Okay, which one is this? Non Yang has notes of green tea, bergamot, pepper, lemon, jasmine, saffron, incense, leather, sandalwood, vanilla, amber, and musk. Good notes. Mother X Love is a very strange name, but it has notes of ginger, vanilla, lychee, saffron, magnolia, pepper, jasmine, mandarin, orange, jasmine, musk, and suede. Very good notes. So let's see the Lost Lovers. So this one, the name of this one's a little bit more normal sounding. Bergamot, rose, myrtle, orange, violet, jasmine, sandalwood, cedar, spices, amber, white musk, and vetiver. Could work. We'd have to try it out. They say that the woods somehow come through in an interesting way with a spicy amber. Looks interesting. I have to give it a go. So, anyways, any other thoughts? Dior is still trying to talk up tobacco color. A lot of people are talking about that. A lot of people want it to be a success. The writer of the article on Fragrantica even suggests that it's Dior's Baccarat. So I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe they mean it because it's difficult to get. I don't see tobacco colors being very popular, or it doesn't seem to be making waves in the fragrance world or the fragrance community. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Again, I've been seeing some more reviews come out of Zaharoff Signature Rose. A lot of people seem to like it. It sounds like a timeless, playful rose. I'm sure that we'll see more reviews of that. I've been seeing more love in the fragrance community for rose, and that's always a good thing. Rose, I feel, is a little bit underappreciated in the in the fragrance world. So it would be good to see more fragrances take a new spin or a new interpretation on what rose fragrances can be. Have you heard about Lumari House? I have not, but I could Google them right meow and see what we got going on. What do we got going on? Lumari. I'll have to put fragrance in front of it. They're not popular or big enough for me to just search Lumari or Lumari House. See, what do we got going on here? Is it Atelier Lumira? Lumari House. You might have to send me a link on my Instagram or something. I found the Lumira. They have a candle line and they have a few perfumes. They have Arabian Oud. They have Paradiso del Sol. I'm not sure about Lumari. Kenny Benny says, I liked Avon Black Suede Leather when it was in production. Yeah, I've heard Avon has some good ones. And sad that it disappeared. I don't know how fast Avon makes a new line of fragrances and discontinues their previous, but they seem to put out a lot of fragrances. So a lot of fragrances seem to be like they have a fast rotation. Lots of new fragrances, lots of discontinuations. So if you find an Avon you like and you never want to be without it, maybe get a backup bottle, I guess. Because I don't know, maybe Avon moves even faster than regular the designer fragrance houses. Not really sure. So, any thoughts, my friends? Anything else? So let me mess with this camera. Is that more normal? Is that better? So, anything y'all like to ask me or tell me? We've been on here for about an hour. We've had less, again, I don't know. I feel the energy seems low. Is there a reason for that? I'm not complaining. I'm grateful. Y'all are awesome. Y'all, I do appreciate y'all. We've had a lot of friends. Maybe some of y'all saw my live and got to hang out with our live on Instagram earlier today. And so maybe you've seen enough of me. Maybe you've seen enough of good old Ben. I'm not sure if that's the case. So I don't know. I'm playing around with this light. Anyways, I want to appreciate y'all. My energy is gone. Oh, okay, no problem, Ronald. It's late for you. Well, I hope that you have a very good evening. Have a good weekend. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for spending your precious time with me, even though it's 1 a.m. for you. And staying up late with me, Centaur Fragrance, Benjamin here. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of the heart for, again, spending your time. Again, if you do want to find me, I'm very active on Instagram, and I create a whole other world of content that is not available on YouTube. I invite you over to my Instagram, and I'd love to connect with y'all. I do respond back. Do like to make new friends, and I'm here for you. So if you have questions about fragrance, if you have any suggestions, recommendations, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram Messenger, and I'll respond to you. DOA V2 says Saja I don't know how to say that. Noir Altitude that I would like to try there are Middle East French. There's two of them. I have not tried those, but they do sound nice. There's so many brands and houses these days. I try to get my hands on and review everything I can. I have like 800 or more videos, fragrance reviews and videos, but there's a whole world of fragrance out there. And again, I would like to see the fragrance community stronger. I would like to see people more organized, maybe not even organized, but more involved with each other and willing to support people who do individual fragrance reviews. Again, I'm not trying to hype myself up, but there's only a few people, myself included, only a handful that even do that anymore because they don't exactly get the views. And maybe that's just because of the YouTube algorithm, or maybe that's what people are genuinely more interested in is the top 10s and that stuff. And I even, again, this this kind of goes into the idea of people taking my ideas and rolling with it, which I talked about at the beginning of this live. But I joked about, people making every single one of their videos like a summer video because it's popular and it still works with this YouTube algorithm. And there's a couple of the big fragrance reviewers who actually started doing that. So I know that some of them are listening. I know that some of them are paying attention, or maybe people are reporting back to them or something. And I know it's YouTube and I know it's how it works, but if you make like 5 or more videos back to back on top summer fragrance lists, I don't know what I'm supposed to think about that. But people continue to watch and they continue to grow. And some of these people are above 100,000. So, any updates on Centaur Soap Incorporated? Great question, Ronald. I do appreciate your interest. I'm in a living situation where I just don't have enough room to make soap. That's why I've been on and off. I've been testing in small batches. I don't have a situation right now where I have enough space. So I'm going to have to try to figure out if I can save money enough to, move somewhere, or maybe rent a house or buy land and try to build a warehouse or something. Around here, there again, where I live, I just don't have enough space to do much of anything. Right now I just don't have, space. So even doing things on a small scale out of my house, I don't know how I should approach this. I really don't know how I should approach making my company. I know a lot of people do make a start out in their house and make it happen. But how do you manage things if you have a very small living space? I don't know. I could make my soap outdoors, but it's not like bugs would get into the soap. Or anything like that. It's so rainy here, depending on our season. Like, it rains every day. It's been doing that in our rainy season for a while. And so it's so humid outside. Even if I wanted to make soap outside, even if I kept things out of the rain, it's so humid that it would ruin the soap, but just because of humidity. So, yeah. But thanks for the interest. Let me know. Let me know what I can do. Let me know what I can do to improve, or how I should approach this. Because I am a bit conflicted, but I do have the supplies, a lot of the supplies, and I want to make this dream happen. But it might just be me with my doubts holding me back. Y'all got to let me know. But I wish that I could have somewhere that was like super clean and vacuumed and dust free. I don't know how soap is made. Yeah, I could make a video all about it. It's more simple than you'd think, but you have to measure things correctly. You have to do things correctly. And, the real difference in anybody who makes a high quality soap, of course, the oils that you use do matter, and that is a big part of it. But in my opinion, it's what kind of ingredients you add to it. To make a cheaper bar of soap, a lot of these bigger companies do use a lot of additives and other chemicals, and to speed up the processes and all that kind of stuff. And so they have to use less oils in general. If somebody's making real natural soap, a lot of people do. But then some people add synthetic smells to it. I'm not really going to be adding synthetic smells. It's all, natural essential oils, of course, which you would expect. And some people do that. But again, y'all already know, I've talked about it, that going to be adding lots of botanicals, I guess you could say, natural plants and other healthy things like hibiscus. Hibiscus is good. Mohammed says, are you asking who I am? I'm a fragrance reviewer, my friend. Welcome. If you don't know why you're here or who I am, I'm a fragrance reviewer. I'm Centaur Fragrance, and I love perfumes, colognes, and all things fragrance related. And I was the one who started that motto as well. And I've seen people take that. And again, I'm not trying to bring the energy down. I just wanted to bring that into a conversation because people have been taking a little bit of my spunk or energy, I guess you could say. I mean, I guess nobody can truly take your energy, but they've been taking my ideas. I saw somebody recently, and I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if I should be flattered or thankful or grateful, but they're a smaller fragrance, a content creator, and they, y'all know my motto is wear what you love, and they essentially at the end of their video said like love what you wear or something to the effect of that. It was very similar to what I've said, and again, this person did not give credit. I've never seen them mention me or support me in any shape or form. I've never seen them comment in videos, and I don't know why I am so. I don't know. I don't know why this happens to me so much. It's a funny world. It's a very funny world. See here. Are you talking about bars or body washes? Bars of soap. Bars of soap. I'd rather would go that route, but y'all let me know. Are you more interested in bars of soap or body washes? I think that going for bars of soap would be the better way to go. Who are you talking to us, man? Lol. I'm not sure who he is, and he's welcome here. What fragrances do you like, Muhammad? Let us know. We're fragrance lovers over here, so if you love fragrance, that's you're welcome here. That's for sure. So, any other thoughts and questions? I feel like we're wrapping up. I feel like we've kind of said what needs to be said, and kind of talked about some topics or things that I guess were on my chest, but again, I don't know how I should resolve these problems or how I can address these problems. Because I want to be even more creative. I want to take more risk and I want to be more experimental. But I've come out with a lot of great ideas, and I have even more great ideas that could really change up the fragrance community. But I just don't get the views, so I don't get the credit. And then these bigger, some of the content creators reach down, and some other people do, and they if they take and run with your idea, and they get the support, people will forget or won't even care that it was your idea in the first place. So anything else? Oh, I wish y'all a very happy weekend. I'll let y'all go. But maybe tomorrow I'll see if I will, but I do go live on Twitch. I do play video games. I am, Instagram and all that, but mostly on Twitch. I've been going live and trying to play video games, and I do like video games. So if you want to joke around and play around and see more of me, I have been trying to do some more of that. Again, I'm Jimmy Jam Jim. If you want to see me there, start taking their ideas. Maybe that's the way it's got to be. If somebody starts a war, you start a war with them. I've never wanted to do that, to be cutthroat. And I've joked about that. I know that I could be that cutthroat, and I know of some things that could be done. And I guess because of y'all 5 people who are here who have waited to the very end of the video, I'll let y'all know about one of the ways I was joking about, but I would not do because I feel it would be unethical and disrespectful. I won't say who did it, but somebody did it on Instagram. So y'all know that if people are searching for and somebody who's already popular, especially if somebody passed away, like Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, and rest in peace, somebody could use that hashtag and use that name because people would still be searching for his content and searching for him, and you could essentially try to take that traffic. I saw somebody do that on Instagram, and I think that's a problem. I know this person wants to become more successful, and they seem to be a pretty genuine, pretty decent guy, but I don't think that's okay. I'm not, some people think I'm very dumb in the fragrance community. I know about a lot of things that I don't talk about, and I could do that, but I'm not willing to do that because I would like to respect Brooklyn Fragrance memory, and I would not try to take traffic away from his channel. I don't know if his family or friends, or I don't know, maybe Redolescence is getting the money from the channel. I don't know, and I don't care about that. But it's just more of like, he built up that audience, and that's his audience, and just leave it be. But People are doing stuff like that. So believe me, it's not just you. Yeah, I know. I know it's happening to other people. Jeremy Fragrance has done it to quite a few people. So, yeah, everyone grabs ideas from each other. Most people aren't creative enough. I have a lot of ideas. I've shared a lot of them, and I have a lot more ideas. I'm a very creative person. And see, to me, I don't know. It's not that I have to get the views for the creativity, but I would like at least a little bit of the credit. And if I put out all that creativity, and then everybody just keeps taking my ideas, and this isn't the first time something like this has happened. This has happened before. And that's but yeah, that's just the problem. But I don't see the problem either. Yeah, everybody sees things differently. Yeah, everybody takes things from seems to be what they do. They take ideas from each other. The few times I've taken an idea from somebody, which is very rare. I've asked for permission. Like I messaged Fragrance Apprentice when he did like fragrances. I forget what his title was, but I kind of changed the idea. I named it Scent Your Crush, and I tried to make it a tag, and I mentioned Fragrance Apprentice because he gave me permission. So, well, it's like it's not something significant enough to be trademarked, Ronald, but it kind of goes in. It's like respect. Like again, I guess I'll say it. At one point, Jeremy Fragrance was kind of trying to take credit for starting the street approach, going on the streets and interviewing people and getting feedback about fragrances on the street. And Jeremy Fragrance was almost pretending like he was the one who started it when it was Street Sense, as far as I know. Stuff like that. I think people. I mean, again, I see the fragrance community as more of a legacy, and I see people have built this community and built this legacy and this story. And I don't know. I guess it's like a thing of honor or respect that if somebody does something, you can try to give them respect. If it's something that really changed the fragrance community, or or is it impactful or something worthwhile. Yeah. So that's the kind of the stuff I'm talking about. Anyways, are you saying no? No, that's that's clearly not what I'm saying. No, people can, of course, lots of people do, but to try to take credit for it, that you started it. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. Like taking credit for who started it, and who made something popular. That's just the issue. There's lots of people who do street scent type stuff now these days. There's younger people who are doing it. Younger guys. I forget the channel, like one in Sweden, and they make pretty good content. And I've watched a few of their videos in the past. They're not bad guys. I'm not saying anything like that. But if I or you or somebody else was to act like you were the street scent person, or especially if you acted like you started it, I think that would be the problem. So, anyways, let's leave off on a good note, everybody. As we go into the weekend, live well, everybody. Enjoy fragrances. Have a good fun. If somebody claims, I guess I could do that, Ronald. These days, people would just block you. If I did that to somebody, they would just block me. Yeah. But anyways, have a good weekend, everybody. Live life well. Enjoy life. Be authentic. Be true to yourself. Take risks. And somebody might try to take away from you. Somebody might try to take your idea. But do your very best and put the effort forward and make your dreams happen, no matter what is against you. And thank y'all for being a friend. I do want to appreciate y'all for, people who do enjoy my content, willing to listen and willing to, have fun regarding fragrance. There's so much to learn. Every time I turn around the corner, there's so many new fragrances. And I do appreciate every single one of y'all from the bottom of the heart that are, willing to learn and find a little bit of value here at the Centaur Fragrance channel, smelling fragrances. Maybe fragrances have gone to our heads. But wear what you love, rock what you got, Ronald. Absolutely. And taking that idea, and yeah, that wouldn't bother me. It's just, if I was an inspiration, let people know. Kirk says, "Hey Benjamin, beam down." Absolutely, Kirk came down, teleported. It says scent of the day is 10 by Dua. Oh, you're wearing 10 Dua samples. I almost thought you said there was a fragrance from Dua called 10. Well, we're about to go, Kirk, but I do wish you the very best, Kirk. Have a good weekend, and I hope that you find a new Dua that you like. I really did like Italian Pommes. That's about the only Dua I think I found that I really loved, and they have one that was kind of a clone of Ani, and they've gotten really good with what they're doing. They're pretty on. So live long, my friend. Live long and prosper. That's the symbol, right? The Vulcan salute. I do like old Star Trek. Have it. Absolutely. Yes. So have a good time, everybody. And I don't know what else I can say. Thank you so much for all the love. I'll see you soon, everybody. Peace and love your way. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Again, I upload Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. You probably already know. What else can I say? We always got new fragrance going on. So feel free to message me on Instagram again if you have questions, thoughts, or feelings. And again, if you want unboxings and other types of content, please check out the Instagram. I'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good one. Happy weekend. Much love to you, my friends. I'll see you. Here's the remedy for that. Make a t-shirt with whatever you came up. I'll see you. I'll see you, Dua, or however you say your name. Good. I'll see you. Have a good weekend, everybody. And bye.